Hey folks, it's episode 46 of my blind OSRS, not Iron Man playthrough. I have to stop saying RS3 constantly. I had to re-record that like 5 times. I've just been saying it so much. The clips in this episode were recorded at the end of 2020 and in early 2021. Part of the reason it's taken so long to edit all of this is it's actually thousands of hours of clips on my machine. And so even though this episode is a couple hours long, it was like 36 hours of raw footage that I had to pick through. A couple notes going into this episode. It's going to feature footage from Leagues 2 Trailblazer. So that's like Christmas 2020. The reason that I'm including Leagues footage is that it's my first time experiencing several pieces of content, including the Nightmare, the Inferno, and Theater of Blood. And the whole point of this series is to show my first time experiencing stuff. Most of that is unedited, so there's a very long first kill at Nightmare and a very long first attempt at Theater of Blood. I'll put a timestamp in the description if you just want to skip past it. I also do my first ever Tempoross KC on the day that it launched. That's toward the end of the video and is also pretty much unedited. Last thing I wanted to mention is that I make a couple KG references to like an at-home family emergency in these episodes to explain why I'm not playing very much anymore. I wasn't specific about this at the time because I had no idea what was going to happen, but the gist of it is that due to housing issues and fucking landlords, my parents almost became homeless in 2020 and 2021. And I was spending a lot of my day intervening to make sure that that didn't happen. As I'm sure you all remember, 2020 and 2021 were pretty stressful times, especially if you needed to like fly across the country and then move your parents across 6 state lines, all while staying as COVID safe as humanly possible. It was rough. But I'm oversharing here just to let you know that that all turned out okay. I got them new housing and they're doing fine now. I got back on my RuneScape shit not long after I finally resolved that issue. As usual, apologies in advance for the poor mic quality, the low energy delivery, and the too many plugins turned on. That will all be fixed once I get back to old school RuneScape after I finish publishing these last few episodes. But here we go, episode 46. KC, no drop. 41 KC, 42 technically, if you include the disconnect. No drop. Oh, rune arrows. I'll actually take those. That's not so bad. Let me recharge my trident and my blowpipe because I'm a little worried about that. I might have to go fishing at some point. See, probably means I need to do some Zulrah soon. Catch back up on scales. Really makes more sense for me to do Zulrah than to fish, at least until I get a third unique. I need the Serp Helm still, which might be useful for some content. Oh, you know, I need scales for the swamp trident too. Shoot. Let's see how many I need here to refill my trident. I think it's fire and death runes. There we go. Recharge trident. And I definitely need to do Zulrah soon. Hey there, I'm gonna go do some agility. Got some work to do. It's a new day, and I'm pretty close to 90 agility, so I'm gonna try to squeeze that out here. All right, here we go. 90 agility. It's the last level I'm ever going to reach for agility that actually affects the run energy regeneration rate. Can now use the Arduin course, and I guess I can do this course now without using Summer Pies. So the reason for me to continue to train agility after this point is to get to 92. The reason to get to 92 is to get to the final floor of the Hollowed Sepulchre. The reason to do that is to get a Ring of Endurance, which I desperately wish had even an astronomically low chance of dropping on the lower floors. Just so I would feel inspired to try it. I just have no reason to want to do this super high effort thing when there's nothing in it for me, basically, until 92. So I'll probably come back and do more agility training. I think we need to do like 30 more hours of it to get to 92. Oof. In the meantime, though, I'm going to go take a quick break. Maybe go do Demonic Gorillas if I can summon up the energy. Actually, I'm going to commit to Demonic Gorillas, so let me take the break in the cave so that the aggression timer can start ticking down. All right, stepping away for 10 minutes for this timer to start ticking. Another Ballista Limbs drop. Stop it, game. I just want a Zenite. Why? Oh, God. 1279. Coming up on 1,000 Gorillas dry. Once we get to 1,300 on a Zenite shard. I have 13 uniques from these guys, rarer than Zenites. Yeah, that was a pretty low attention trip. I was chatting in Discord. Tomorrow, Trailblazer comes out, so I'm going to be giving the T-Bow back to Clover and taking a break from the live servers for a while to record Trailblazer. We've been talking about
speculation on the relics. So why don't I share that speculation here, because it will be funny how it's aged once you see this video, 5 years after Trailblazer has happened. So today's October 27th at 7 a.m. All we have are leaked images and names for the Trailblazer relics. So I'm going to share my open speculation on what they do. I think that Fairy's Flight will give you an item in your inventory that acts as a fairy ring. Eternal Jeweler gives you an item in your inventory that acts as a ornate jewelry box. Last Recall is one I'm really excited about if it works the way I assume it's going to work. My guess is that it allows you to set a teleport tile and then teleport back to that tile at will, kind of like Furor's Wind in Ocarina of Time. The Tier 3 relics seem to be about specializing either in ranged, melee, or magic, and I assume it just gives you some kind of flat buff when using that attack style. Tier 4 second inventory sounds like an infinite use looting bag that can be used anywhere. Which to me, that seems kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't know how you can balance other relics against that. I'm going to go ahead and predict today, October 27th, 2020, that second inventory is going to be the endless endurance of this league. That in future leagues, they're just going to make it a passive because everything in the game is based around your inventory and those 28 slots. There's basically no way to compete with that. But the other two, Treasure Seeker is probably that you get caskets more easily from clue scrolls, or you can stack clue scrolls, or that clue scrolls drop as caskets. Unnatural Selection is picking Slayer tasks, maybe picking other things that are usually randomly assigned to you. Tier 5 is the one I'm most confused on. We know what Equilibrium is because it was already released. Botanist, the potion one, it feels weird that they would release something that only affects Herblore, but if it did, I could see a couple things, like it not requiring secondaries or something. Infernal Gathering seems weird to me because it just seems really underpowered. Like Equilibrium, I'm not super excited about. It seems like the XP drops you're going to get from it are going to be fairly weak compared to just the overall passive XP boost from playing on the seasonal mode. So if Infernal Gathering is just all fish are automatically cooked, all ore is automatically spelted, all wood is automatically burned, that seems pretty lame, even compared to Equilibrium, which I think is fairly lame. And then the last tier, Draining Strikes, I think that's you heal prayer and HP whenever you attack, which seems really strong. Exploding Attacks, looks like it turns everything into a barrage spell, maybe makes the Ancient Spellbook less necessary. And it looks like it might be called Weapon Specialization, but my guess there is that it has a little fast forward icon that decreases the number of ticks per attack with weapons. So we'll see if I'm right. But in any case, I'm going to go ahead and take a break here. Pretty tired of these demonic gorillas, so maybe we'll come back and do some raids here shortly. I have a scouted raid, but I don't know, people are actually available to play, so I'm going to stop the recording here and hopefully remember before I start the raid. I made that mistake before. See ya. Well, the thing I was worried about happening absolutely happened, and I totally just did 2 raids without hitting the record button while standing in the lobby. I just need to not stop recording while I'm still logged into the game. Fortunately, I guess, nothing interesting happened. We had a run. I'm scrolling up through my chat log here in the bottom left corner. Your report. Yeah, it looks like they're both in here. So the first raid, I had 40% points, no drop. Second raid, I had 30% points, no drop. So that's KC 42 and 43. Lost the recording for it. I guess I need to figure out now how much further I need to move the clock. I'm guessing it's as long as this timer down here, but I think that was also ticking when I hit stop recording. So let me look at the last VOD and figure out what it was at. Drops, I got Ranars and Irrit Leaves, and I think some Death Runes. You can see them here. I don't know if I've shown this on stream recently, but stuff from this list, nothing terribly exciting. Okay, so I need to add an hour and a half onto the timer. I'm just gonna do that now. So that's annoying. It's a pretty significant thing to completely miss, but yeah. 2 raids, no drops. 44 KC, no drop, but you heard it that time because I was actually recording. Alright, so Trailblazer's coming up. Clover would like the T-bow back, since I won't be playing the live servers while Trailblazer's out, so I'm just going to return it to Clover's alt. Really pick it back up whenever I burn out on Trailblazer. Okay, I returned the Twisted Bow to Clover. Probably going to find other stuff to work on if I'm going to play any more live before Trailblazer, but there's probably going to be a pretty big time jump. You won't notice it because it's just going to look like RuneScape, I assume. But I'm going to be playing Trailblazer Leagues for a while. Maybe not all the way until they wrap in January. I'm sure I'll burn out on them before then when I go back to live. But that's going to be my big break from the live servers. And then I hope to come back and finish working on Rigor and English, and I'll see you later. Hey, how's it going? Still in the middle of the Trailblazer League, but they just announced a new, very short quest in Currend. And like I've said before, whenever a new quest comes out, I'm just going to record it and upload it to YouTube, probably unedited, unfast-forwarded, since my recorded QuestCape playthrough that I'm still working on editing and uploading wouldn't include these new quests that have come out since then. So I've done this already with Sins of the Father, Portion of Interest, which had some mic issues apparently at the end of it, where I just got muted for the last couple minutes of the video. But that's what I'm going to be doing here today. I'm going to check out this new quest called Getting Ahead. But without further ado, let's go ahead and start, and this will eventually be included in the Infernal Cape playthrough, fast-forwarded whenever it gets published, like 6 years from now. Oh right, I don't have infinite run energy. Trailblazer, what have you done to me? You completed Getting Ahead. You're awarded a quest point, 4,000 crafting XP, 3,200 construction, 3,000 coins, access to a new tanner. This is a decent tanner. It's kind of close to a bank. Hey there, I'm coming back from leagues. Today is November 30th, 2020. I've done about everything I want to do in the leagues. Almost. There's still a month left, and in that month I'm probably going to hop back over there to practice Theater of Blood when we have a necessary number of people to do it. And I still haven't practiced Inferno, but I will probably do that. So what I'm hoping to do is anytime I do content for the first time on leagues as opposed to on the live servers, I like to keep track of which episode I did it on. And then when we go to do that content on the live servers, hopefully in my commentary I can reference you to the link and put it in the description to see my actual blind attempt at that content in the Trailblazer League. But it's just going to be too valuable for me to not practice it there. I did a bit of gauntlet practice on leagues, which was nice. I'm probably going to go for 50 KC on that to get ranked on the leaderboards somewhat soon. Today, though, I don't really have a lot of time for highly attentive content. So what I'm going to go for instead, I've gotten really used to auto-casting ancient spells, and I haven't been able to do that on the live servers in an extremely long time. Since I have the Staff of the Dead, I've been manually casting barrage spells for hundreds of hours, if not over 1,000 hours, for barrage tasks and just for training magic. It's been a nightmare. So I think I am going to try to go for the Ancient Wand, the Master Wand, from Mage Training Arena, which I'm not looking forward to at all. I've said before that I think MTA is the worst content in the game. Paradoxically means it's never going to get adjusted. But it would be nice to do a grind like that on the live servers and not on leagues. I did pick the desert on leagues, and I did not touch MTA because it is not sped up in any way from live. So I'm going to start working on it. I guess whatever progress I make now is going to be worthwhile eventually, even if I bail on it because it's terrible. So let me put my gear away here. I don't want to do too much PVM that involves range because I need to get, you may have seen I recorded a swap the Twisted Bow back to Clover, since I wasn't going to be using it during the leagues, but I'm going to try to get it back from Clover at some point. And we'll go back. The most pressing thing right now is to keep grinding for a Zenite drop. We'll need that and Rigor. I think Zenite, get a necklace for Inferno, as well as Rigor are going to be the two things we really need before an Inferno attempt is going to be realistic. Anyway, I'm off to MTA. I'll probably shut up for the whole thing. There's nothing interesting to say there. I'll see ya. Jeez, I don't know if I remember how to get around the game without last recall and all those area teleports. Okay. Teleport to house, because when I'm not on the league servers, I have a house that's stocked with teleports. That's right. Okay. I didn't record this, but I did log in every day when I was switching to leagues. I would log in on my main profile to get the 84 sand bucket deposit. So I should take a look at how many buckets of sand I have now. Month and a half worth? Might get me close to like 1 level in crafting. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna get the worst one out of the way first. I guess they're all pretty terrible. Can't really say one is the worst. But I need 480 telekinetic points. Woof, here we go. All right, I forgot run energy is a thing on the live servers, so I'm gonna go get some potions and stuff. I'll be back. And I can't even last recall back here. It hurts. Ugh, we're at 480 points, which is the most I need, but I was at 4 solves, so I may as well do one more to get the bonus 8 points. I hope and pray that I never have to come and do telekinetic this particular MTA minigame again. I think this is the one I hate the most, which is why I'm getting it out of the way first. I don't need the Infinity Robes. I already have the Eternal Boots. The reason I might come back is for the book, but even the book is pretty mild upgrade, so still we'll go ahead and get some multiple of 5. I may as well finish this last step, and then I'm gonna have to pause for a second and figure out what I'm doing next, because this is crazy draining. I will be so happy to have this be done forever. I hope to never return to this telekinetic minigame. Okay. That's 490 pizzazz points, 10 more than I need, but enough to be done with this for the Master Wand purposes. Let me sit AFK outside here and think about what I'm doing next. God, it's so painful to not have the Crystal of Memories anymore, because I would just use it to run and bank and come back to whatever I was doing. Alright, I guess I'm going to do the enchanting one. Give me a sec. Okay, 4,800 enchantment points. I got to prep for stream, but I don't know if we're halfway done. That was definitely faster than the telekinetic one was. I don't remember the relative speeds between them, but maybe tomorrow I'll come in and do the graveyard, because I've got my regen bracelet and hit points cape should help a teensy bit with it. Then leave the alchemy one for last. I'm excited to never do MTA ever again. That's my hope after finishing this. All right, I'll see ya. I gotta grab some more nature runes. Didn't bring enough. Charging my Bryophyta staff. Be right back. Oh, there's 530 alchemy points. Never again. I keep thinking that the one I'm currently doing is the worst one, with having to hop constantly in the enchantment chamber and having to move constantly. And the telekinetic one, Alchemist, was not fun. That was 2.5 hours of the Alchemist Playground, as it's called. Well, something I've been doing in the leagues is basically letting the recording run the whole time, so I don't have to stitch videos together. I already stitch videos together for the live playthrough, so I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna pause the clock here, take a break, come back and maybe work on finishing up Graveyard here. We need 480 Graveyard points, which is gonna take a minute. Okay, I don't have a ton of time before stream starts, but I'm gonna try to get a bit of a head start here on the Graveyard. I need to pick up some different runes. Yeah. Okay, we have enough pizzazz points. Getting out of here. All right, so I think I now have enough points to buy the Master Wand. I gotta do this really carefully though, because I don't want to have to do any of that ever again. Who you even talked to? I don't even remember who you talked to buy stuff here. Rewards Guardian. Well, that explains it. So I think we have to get the beginner, and then the apprentice, and then the teacher, and then the Master Wand. Okay, so beginner wand, apprentice wand, teacher wand, master wand. Oh, thank God it's over. I guess I'd have to... Oh, wow. The mage book is an even longer grind. Not significantly longer, but longer. I have not a lot of interest in coming back for that anytime soon. But hey, we've got the Master Wand, which hopefully now we'll get a Kodai insignia to drop from Chambers of Xeric. Get rid of this stupid hat. Very cool. All right, I'm gonna go pause and take a break and figure out what I'm gonna do next after all that. Most of the content I have remaining to do, I need to get the Twisted Bow back from Clover. Returned it prior to the start of Leagues. But one thing that I can do, I can try working on getting 50 KC at Gauntlet. So I'm going to go give that a try. I did get a little bit of Gauntlet practice on League servers. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know if I ever got a clear on Gauntlet on live servers. I think I attempted it several times, figured out what the layout was like, and then never went back to it. I did something like 15 clears on Leagues, one of which was a beat it in sub 5 minutes attempt, which is pretty cool. Hey folks, so yeah, you probably saw, I mean, it may have been fast forwarded too fast to notice, but I had 2 unsuccessful gauntlet runs there. I got interrupted in the middle of the first one, got a phone call and couldn't give it my full attention, and I kept going into a second one that ended up running out of time on prep because of the phone call. You'll notice in my inventory, the Twisted Bow is back. I got it back from Clover, so I'm going to use that today to get some stuff done. I think I've decided that I don't want to do the Gauntlet until I have access to Rigor, at least. Maybe Augury, but definitely Rigor, because it would make the boss fight a lot easier. And it's much easier to do that boss on Leagues. This is my chest from my previous failed attempt. An Adamant Dagger. So I'm going to give Demonic Gorillas a try. I think I've got 40 kills left on my Black Demon's task. I'm going to have to fish for another one. Oh, right. And since I'm not on the Leagues, I can't just hold on to a hard clue scroll anymore. It won't drop anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and do this clue scroll, I guess, real quick first. So it looks like they changed the settings, which is kind of cool because it's a lot cleaner to browse, but they also broke. I had a plugin that let me affect the music, sound effects, and area sound volume that they broke. Hopefully 5 years from now when I edit this, I'll have edited that in a way that's reasonable. Let's open this hard casket. Okay, I have to reinterpret my drops nowadays. I've spent so much time in the Leagues that I forgot that getting a Master Clue Scroll is exciting because I can actually do it. I also have to remember that I can do all of these. Like, I'd gotten into the habit of not being able to do Clue Scrolls, you know, due to the area restrictions, but I think there's like maybe 1 Clue Scroll in the game that I can't do right now on the live servers. Oh man, something else that's going to take getting used to. I got so used to having Botanist on the Leagues, remembering to actually have to repot that I can't just like pot once and be good until I die. Also forgetting that with the XP boost, like an XP drop of 70 XP is just fine. It means I'm doing okay range damage. I got super used to seeing XP drops in like the hundreds or even the thousands with barrage spells. Alright, got a Master Casket. Open it up real quick. And we'll go do Demonic Gorillas. Here goes nothing. Not a Mimic. And that is a terrible Master Casket. And it's worth an okay amount of money, but oof. Alright, I'm at Demonic Gorillas. I'm going to sit here and wait for Tolerance. It makes this so much less miserable to have them be tolerant. Okay, it's tolerant. I haven't done Demonic Gorillas in months. Let's see how this goes. God damn it. I was trying to drop my Royal Seed Pod to make space, and I communed with it. Do I not have a shift click? Can I not drop? Oh, it's destroy. Of course it is. Well, let's go back. I'm officially 1,000 gorillas dry. Just want this to be over. I only need the 1 drop to be able to do the Inferno. Need that Anguish necklace. Oh my god. I finally got a drop. Oh, I had 2 kills left of the task. Oh, I'm so happy. Holy shit. 1,324 Tuesdays. Okay. Let me finish up my task. Maybe I'll get it back-to-back, and I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. Task complete. I don't think I need to do this for a long time. I mean, the bracelet would be good for mage at some point, but it's not required. And the torture would be good for melee, but it's far from required. It's a much more mild upgrade. I am out of here, and boy am I happy to be out of here. Just barely finished that task too, completely out of food and a 13 health. So I want to make the item out of this, so I think I need to go farm for a onyx. So I gotta sell a ton of runes. See how many chaos runes I'm sitting on. I think I already happen to have enough to afford an onyx here, so I'm gonna work on that now. Hooray, I'm so happy. It's over. Alright, buying the onyx. There we go. Let me review the requirements here. I think I have to boost crafting to make this. 92 crafting, so I can use a pie for it. That's good. Good job, past me. I must have worked on grinding crafting to 92 exactly for that purpose, and I don't remember doing it. Leagues has corrupted my memory of this playthrough. I cut Onyx with the Zenyte Shard. Cut the Onyx. I think I got everything I need for this. Okay, use Zenyte Shard on Wall of Flame. Use them. Uncut Zenyte. Perfect. I'm gonna go cut Zenyte. Make sure I make a necklace. Need a crafting level of 89 to cut Zenyte. Okay, well I gotta be pretty quick about this then. Gold bar. 100% this is the thing I want for an Anguish, or I'm gonna be really sad here soon. Zenyte. Zenyte necklace. Complete. Okay, cool. I just have to enchant it, which I have no idea what runes that requires, because I would probably never do it. Soul and blood runes, okay. The one I didn't withdraw. There we go. Necklace of Anguish. It has a +5 range strength bonus, which is what we need for the Inferno. Oh, I'm so happy that that's over. Fantastic. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, I'm going to take a break then. This significantly narrows down the content I have remaining to do. It's basically just Rigor. I got to keep doing Chambers of Xeric until we get either a Rigor or an Augury scroll to drop, and then I'm good to go. Hey there, good morning. This morning, we're either going to go do Theater of Blood on Leagues to practice it for the live servers, or I'm going to do some Chambers of Xeric, but it depends on who's around, who's available. Since I finished my Black Demons task, I might go talk to Konar. I still have some drops that aren't mandatory, but would be nice to get from, like, a Hydra, for example. So I'll see if I get a Hydra task, or a task that I would just be willing to do. I guess the problem is I don't want to touch Slayer, except for specific, like, bosses that I want to kill. Dusk. I have everything I want. Sire. Basically have everything I want. Kraken. We're done. Cerberus, we're done. Thermi, we're done. Hydra is really the only one that I'm missing stuff from. So I guess I shouldn't really accept any other task, but let's go give it a shot and see what happens. The last time I had to fish for a Hydra task, I burned through like 1,000 reward points or something. Makes me kind of regret getting the Slayer Helm recolor. There's Hydras, that wasn't so bad. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll do that for a bit. I haven't touched Hydra in like 4 months or something, so it might take me a sec to remember how the fight works. Let's see, I never really did try it with the Twisted Bow. Might give that a shot, although I really like the melee style. So try bringing the Ceradoman Godsword for Prayer Sustain. Although I think the problem is I end up having to leave due to not having enough space before the fight's even over. Whoops! I screwed up the poison attack, ended up on the tile where I'm supposed to be attacking it, and just, in trying to fix it, completely screwed up my prayers. At least I have the agility shortcut to get to it now. I don't have to run past those hydras outside. Heading into Chambers of Xeric. Alright, beat it, no drops, but 8. It's KC 45. Technically 46 from that one that I died during, or got Comcast disconnected during. It's KC 46/47. Got dragon arrows, which is nice. I need those for Inferno. Hey, Rigor! Finally dropped. About time. Before the 3,000 hour mark, too. Alright, I'm really excited about the Rigor scroll. Probably got fast forwarded there while I was talking to my raid mates. 2,990 hours in, I now have everything I need to attempt the Inferno, which is extremely exciting. This is the last item that I was holding out for. Read Dexterous Prayer Scroll. I would like to absorb its power. At last, Rigor. This is very exciting. Biggest DPS upgrade in the game. Changes everything. When we come back, I might go do my Inferno progress in the leagues now. Practice it. I guess I could always end the RuneScape playthrough with Theater of Blood instead of Inferno. I think Inferno's harder and probably better as far as the final content, but Theater of Blood is group content, so getting one clear in there with the Infernal Cape would be pretty cool. I'll see you when I come back. Hey folks, I'm feeling pretty pumped after getting Rigor. We're going to be practicing Theater of Blood on Trailblazer later this morning, but I'm up pretty early. So I would like to give Rigor a try. I think I'm going to go do a couple things that I've been holding off on touching. For example, trying to go for the ACB at Commander Ziliana. Just do one trip. I don't need to farm particularly hard for it, because after we're done with the Inferno, I'm just going to give the Twisted Bow back to Clover, and it's not going to matter anyway. And I still want to do some more Gauntlet, so we'll see what all I can fit in. It's really cool to me that we got the things I needed. I got the Anguish finally and Rigor before the 3,000 hour mark. I wasn't thinking that was going to happen. So give me a sec here to gear up, and I'll head over there. The Dragon Boots drop. I will take it. Why not? First shot when I walked in, hit her for 63. That was pretty awesome. All right, finished my kills, but I could definitely feel the difference of Rigor, and also Chaos Factor wasn't joking. Rigor drains a ton of prayer. Hey, I'm back. We're going to do some Chambers of Xeric runs. All right, that was KC48. 2 more until I can get on the high scores. We're going to switch over to leagues and practice some Theater of Blood. So hopefully I remember to mark that Theater of Blood attempt is our first one, and include a link to it when we get to Theater of Blood on the live servers.
Hey y'all, it's Future Marstead real quick. So I wasn't sure how I wanted to go about doing this because I did experience a lot of content for the first time in leagues. I do have a second channel with leagues videos that are pretty bad because I just automated the editing on them by using an unsilence tool. But I think it's important enough to see my first experience with this content that I'm just going to include it in this episode. So what you're about to see is all Leagues footage. So obviously, since it's Leagues, it's way easier than it would be otherwise. This was Leagues 2 Trailblazer, where you had to pick a combat style and 3 regions. I had picked the Desert and Magic. We're playing with Lucas, who took Ranged, and with Clover, who took Melee. The 3 pieces of content I'm experiencing for the first time here in Leagues are Nightmare, Theater of Blood, and a little bit of the Inferno. I guess, spoilers, I didn't finish the Inferno in Leagues 2. I eventually got around to it in Leagues 3, though. I'm just going to include clips from those bosses here, so it's going to be our Nightmare kill, our first Theater of Blood run, and then I'll stitch in our first successful Verzik kill. And then I'll do some selected clips from the Inferno attempt. Nightmare and Theater of Blood will largely be unedited, although I die pretty early on a couple of the bosses in our first Theater of Blood run while learning it. So after it dies and it puts me in spectator mode, I'll just, clip to the end. After you see the full first run, we'll cut to the successful Verzik kill. I'll put a timestamp in the description if you want to skip this section since it's so unedited compared to everything else. And I'll also put a link to my second channel with the Leagues videos. Warning though, those videos are even rougher than these because of the tool I was using to automatically edit and publish them as quickly as possible. Here we go, the first thing we did was Nightmare.
Pretty cool fight. Not super good at it, but it's phase 1. Phase 2 is the hardest phase, I think. Alright, we're on the last phase here. Just gotta charge these totems, and that's the end of the fight, I think. Have to not fuck it up here. Hey! First ever Nightmare kill. Defeat the Nightmare. Task complete. 153 mithril ore. Not so exciting. I have to try this with maybe no brews next time. I think I should wrap for the day. That was pretty fun.
That Nightmare kill was insanely long, even given that we were on leagues. A big part of the problem, as you probably noticed, is that I was constantly having to sip brews, which was draining my magic level, which was preventing me from casting Ice Barrage. I think they just patched it so that you won't start like bonking the enemy with your staff if your magic level falls too low, which is a huge quality of life improvement for something like this. Next up is my first ever Theater of Blood attempt with the folks. The objective isn't really to win, just to learn as much as possible, and I think we pulled it off.
Hey there, hot off a Cox run, got enough people to attempt Theater of Blood, so we're gonna give it a try. Okay, I think I have a gear setup on the right. It's pretty silly. Like anyone's ever gone into Theater of Blood with this before, but give it a try. Alright, here we go. First attempt versus Maiden. It's probably gonna be a shit show. Like I said, I probably won't be able to comment during it. See though. Starts going pretty decently. Let's see. There's the blood splatters, which I guess you want to dodge. This isn't so bad. Be able to root them okay. That went well enough, okay. I think we can dodge that attack. I'll have to mention that. I think it travels long enough. Yeah, looks like you can dodge the blood. It's good to see. First try, no problem. That was fun. Discussing strategy for Bloat next. I guess I should state my understanding of the strategy here. So my understanding for Maiden, don't stand in the blood. Yep. Ice barrage the spiders. Yep. Closest player is a target of a tank buster. Yep. Root the blood spawns because they leave a blood trail that you don't want to stand in. Protect magic. Bloat, don't attack him while he's moving. Damage him when he stops. He runs between 60 and 20% health. Probably nothing we can do about that. It's a cool track that's playing here. Alright, I died. But I think I get it. I think it's... once he starts to run, it's really bad. I think it's better to eat the falling effect than it is to eat the flies that he sends at you. Yeah, so I think the problem was I was being super careful about letting things fall on me, but I think it's way more important to not have the boss use its auto attack on you. Hey, Clover did it. That was a cool fight. Hopefully it'll do better next time now that I've seen it. A lot of these are just I need to see the fight to understand what to do. Okay, next boss, Nylocas. Range the green spiders, mage the blue spiders, melee the white spiders. Same for the boss's colored forms. Ice Barrage helps with rooting them. So this is a fight. This is pretty stressful. Especially with my slow cast and everything, right? Oops, I died. I gotta get pretty wrecked with this if I don't focus on protection prayers. This one makes more sense now, though. Man, it stays in its different forms such a brief amount of time. Imagine this is brutal on the live servers. Maybe that's why everyone just picks an attack style and stays on it. Good job, team. They were able to do it without me. Okay, so Sotetseg's the next boss. We had a prot magic against the red attacks, prot range against the black attacks. Large red ball means players must stack to share damage. Boss sends a random player to the Shadow Realm. Check mark tiles for Sotetseg. I think we're ready to attempt the boss. Let's go. Okay, dodging or protecting against the attacks isn't too bad, it looks like. Kinda cool how they bounce off you, though. Sotetseg chose you. Oh dear. I think I made it. I think that's how it works. I'll have to see it from their perspective to understand that a little bit better. Oh, looks like it works. It's less terrible than I thought it was going to be. Oh shit. Stack. Scary. Let's see, we got the stack attack to work. This one makes way more sense when you actually do it. Oh, okay, this is cool. So I see you're leaving this behind when you're walking in the other world, I guess. That's cool. Oh, big stack attack. Ouch. I think we got this. I think we're past the hard part of the fight. First try. That was a cool fight. I enjoyed it. It's a fun fight. I feel much more prepared for this for live now. Oh, there it is. Gift chest. I'm gonna keep going. Sharks. Xarpus. Stand on top of skeletons that get up, else they heal. Xarpus. Boss moves to the center of the room and sprays poison. Dodge poison 2 tiles away. Like dodging ice demons. Snowball attack. But don't fill the room with poison. At low health, Xarpus faces different corners. Do not attack from corner he's facing. There's a 1-minute guide for Xarpus too that I'm going to check out. Alright, we're gonna give it a try in a second. This is a cool fight. I think I get it now. You're trying to, like, minimize the coverage so you can move around during the steer phase more carefully. Not bad. Looks like that fight's a nightmare on melee. I don't envy Clover. Alright, gonna type out my understanding of how Verzik's supposed to work. We're gonna lose to Verzik because we're all very low on supplies, but phase 1, Prot Magic. We use this special staff to dump specs on her, and we trade the staff around as we run out of spec. Unfortunately, none of us have the spec relic. It'd be really nice for this fight. Pillars collapse after taking 3 to 4 hits, so we don't want the pillars to collapse on us and kill us. When she shoots blue balls at us, we hide behind the pillars. So this has been interesting because, like, Chambers of Xeric, everything in Chambers of Xeric except for Ulm is about what I was expecting in complexity level from old school RuneScape. And I was thinking that the bosses in this were going to be way more complicated, but they're all pretty comparable to the boss encounters like Tecton in Chambers of Xeric. I guess they're a little bit more involved. Mutadiles and Tecton and Ice Demon and all those are actually pretty trivial. They don't have that many things to worry about. But it seems like it's the same thing that Verzik is as challenging, if not harder, than Ulm. I like the walk in there with the final challenge. That's cool. We're going to put some tile markers here. Okay, so we drop Dawnbringer in the white tiles. The blue tiles are safe both from the orb and from the pillar falling. Okay, so I think we're getting phase 2 is we have to move to dodge a ranged attack. Stay on opposite sides of her so a bouncing attack hits her instead of us. Purple spider spawns, it heals Verzik. Person with the blowpipe needs to poison or venom it, which Lucas is going to do. Other spiders that spawn explode. I'm supposed to freeze them. We're supposed to kite them, keep them from blowing up on people. 35% health. She uses a magic attack and summons spiders from the Maiden boss, the first boss. They have to be barraged and killed quickly so she doesn't heal off them. Don't heal Verzik during the summoning animation or she'll heal. Alright, here we go. Giving it a try. We're not going to get past phase 1, I don't think. Clover's completely out of brews. I'm okay on food, but still not. Okay, so I died. I don't know what killed me. I think I just got put out in the open by the magic because I was too far behind the supporting pillar. Still not super clear on the safe tiles. Trying to watch them here to see if I can figure it out better. I do like that when you die, it puts you in these cages and you can keep watching. It's a nice touch. That was fun. Your party has failed. Well, that's right. We're gonna wrap for now. We'll probably do more Verzik attempts some other time, but that went pretty well.
All right, that was the failed attempt. Next up is the successful Verzik attempt. This was after practicing 4 or 5 runs. It took me a while to actually see some of the attacks in action. Those purple tornadoes are especially nasty.
GG, no deaths. Whew. Heart's pounding out of my chest. I never even picked up my mana ray. Nice. Let's see what we get. Purple in someone's name. Come on, Scythe for Clover. Oh, boo. Clover got the staff, which would change everything for me. That's okay. Pretty exciting to finally get a 0 death. We did it. Feels good.
Next up is my first time practicing the Inferno. I am not successful here. I'm just going to try to clip a couple notable things, like setting up tile markers, for example, places and waves that I died. This practice was crucial to prepare me for what I actually need to expect with the real Inferno, and also to be able to eventually succeed in Leagues 3, which I'll show clips of that in the future when we get there.
And then today I think I might start practicing the Inferno, because I finally have all the resources I need to do it. Live servers, and that was the whole point. Okie dokie. I went ahead and did a farming run. Now I'm going to try to slowly gear up for the Inferno. Probably just base my gear on what I brought for Theater of Blood. Alright, apparently clicked jumping into the Inferno. Here we go. Pause the wave here. I can set up some markers and stuff. Okay, Inferno has been paused. Let me look through my options here. I think one thing people recommended is turning on low detail mode in here. Yeah, I can see how that's helpful. I usually don't like having that on, but it simplifies the background, you know? Alright, I'm going to sit here and try to set up some markers. Okay, I think I got all the tile markers that I'm going to get, so I'm going to go ahead and log out, log back in, and we're just going to try this a bit. I've looked at a guide, I've looked at strategies, and I think I just have to play it for a while and see if I get used to it. My understanding, just to kind of go over this, the nibblers always spawn in this tile. Everything else can randomly spawn in any of these 9 tiles, and part of the Inferno seems to be about solving the wave, since you can't perfectly predict what it would be. I think you can log out at the start of a wave to quickly see what it would be, like review the video footage, or that seems like it's probably better for you to just learn how to adapt to it a little bit better. So yeah, spawns, nibbler, these green squares are for Zuck, which I'm not going to get to, but may as well have them marked. The middle green square, the one that's less opaque, is the one that isn't a safe spot once he enrages. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the best places to defend the north pillar where you want to start. So here if possible, if not then here, if not then here, and if not then here. And then defend is where I want to run back to defend this pillar from a distance if I need to kill nibblers or whatever. We'll see how it works. Okay, I think I understand how the blobs work. That's helpful. And I get stacked out in wave 7. Okay. I might take a couple breaks during this and just split the recording, step away. New enemy is a ranger. I was having an okay time with the meleeers. It's probably because I can just freeze them trivially. Okay, so I've seen all the different kinds of creatures other than the major. I feel like I have a better understanding of the Inferno just from getting as far as I've gotten here to wave 24. So I'm going to take a break, and I think I can watch the video understanding more of what I'm looking at than I have in previous times, because every time I've watched videos and read strategy guides, it's like never actually been in there, so I don't know what that means. I think I get it a little bit better. So I'm going to watch that, and I'll come back.
At this point, I got called away from the Inferno to do some more Theater of Blood, so I abandoned the attempt I was working on and then started fresh.
Okay, I gotta practice a bit more. That didn't go super great. I'm doing a little bit better this time. I'm gonna try to make a few more low opacity markers to keep track of my range on spells here. Let me double check. So this looks like a bit of a mess, but let me explain what this is. This is low opacity color comparisons to the 4 places I want to stand around the support. The distant orange is 10 tiles from tile 3. The closer orange is 5 tiles from tile 3. So this is max spell range. This is max blowpipe range without having to step out of the tile that I'm standing on. It's the same for the rest of these. That's max spell range from tile 2. Max spell range from tile 1. Blowpipe range for both. I just want to have those pre-marked for when I do this on the live servers. I didn't make a full line here because it's just kind of implied that this extends down and not up. But I suppose I probably could since I did over on this side. And then same thing over here. 10 tiles to tile 4, 5 tiles to tile 4. So hopefully that helps me get a sense of which tile they can cross before I click on them without moving out from behind the pillar and putting myself in danger. And maybe this is something I can remove eventually once I kind of get a feel for it, but it's going to be helpful for now. Alright, I'm going to continue the wave here and see if this is actually helpful at all, or it's just confusing. Alright, made it to a new mob, the Major. My understanding of the Major is that he hits really, really hard, so if he hits you without prayer, he can stack you out pretty fast. And he can res dead units, so seems like you want to kill the Major first wherever possible. He's also really resistant to magic, so I guess I gotta switch to using Ice Splits on him. Okay. Keep that in mind. Okay, I think the Major is big enough that I can take care of the bats separately, or even take care of him separately without having to deal. I also think there's ways to simplify the stack by moving back and forth behind the pillar here, which I think is what I've effectively just done. So I think I can kill the Major alone without having to worry about the bats. Let's give it a try. Okay, I'm gonna log out for a bit and take a break. That was wave 39, so I'll be coming back on wave 40. I'll see ya. Okay, a little messy when I loaded in, but we're okay now, I think. Well, I got stacked out trying to do the 2-tick flicking. At least that's as far as I've gotten. I was wave 41. I'll have to do some more practice another time. That was really short 4-minute recording. Yeah, I gotta get to a wave that has a blob and a ranger, and I have to practice the 2-tick flicking blob and another enemy because I don't get it, or I've got too much lag, or something's going wrong because I go out there and I hear to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or I try to do 1 ticking, which is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and those are both supposed to work, but I tend to take a ton of damage, and I'm focusing on looking at my prayer instead of looking at what's actually happening. So maybe I'll go back and review the VOD and try to figure it out. I'll see ya.
That ended up being the last time I attempted the Inferno in Leagues 2. I actually live in a sort of rural area with poor internet quality, and I frequently drop ticks. I've seen other people post videos of themselves prayer flicking like on every single tick, and you can clearly see that it's always working. I've never experienced it being that responsive before. My connection is responsive enough that if there's at least 2 ticks between required flicks, then I've got plenty of time and it's okay. So like Jad is no problem, the Alchemical Hydra is no problem. But if I ever get around to doing Inferno on the live servers, I need to find out some kind of solution to deal with the fact that sometimes it seems like you literally just need to 1-tick flick. When I cleared the Inferno successfully in Leagues 3, it was just pure brute force. It didn't matter that I wasn't 1-tick flicking because I was able to heal damage constantly. Anyway, we'll see. One time I happened to be playing RuneScape in Las Vegas and I checked my ping and it was 0 milliseconds because I think some of their US West servers are literally in Las Vegas. So, worst case scenario, that's a solution. Just book a weekend in Las Vegas for Inferno Attempts. In all seriousness, I just hope they build municipal fiber where I live so I don't have to depend on fucking Comcast anymore. That would be the dream. Anyway, that was my Leagues 2 footage. Let's get back to the regular playthrough, which now is in December of 2020. Leagues are wrapping up. Hey, I'm back from my practice Theater of Blood run on Leagues. It went really well. Got completely wrecked by Verzik. I died almost immediately in phase 1, which is super embarrassing. It's supposed to be the easy phase. But now we're back to do a couple more Chambers of Xeric runs. Hopefully I can get on the high scores here. Alright, Puppet got an Arcane Prayer Scroll drop, which means I can get Augury now. Okay, that's pretty exciting. Now, the best thing that could possibly happen is if a Kodai Insignia drops next kill. It's the last thing that would be nice to have for the Inferno. Learn Augury. Alright, we now have every prayer in the game. Beautiful. Hey, there's Chambers of Xeric, KC 50. No drop, but it's cool to be on leaderboards. It's one of my soft goals. Teaks and Ranars. Alright, and that'll have to wrap it. 50 KC on the leaderboards. Pretty exciting. Got an Augury Prayer Scroll, which is extremely exciting. I'll see you around. Bye. Yo, I've been switching between practicing Inferno and Theater of Blood on the League servers. I'm back on the live servers for just a little bit to go do the Christmas event. I do want to get the trimmed music cape, which is going to require me to get all of the holiday events that I skipped last year. So I'm going to get some stuff together and go do that. Oh, right. They finally fixed RuneLight so that I can adjust my audio to be a percentage. Let me see if I can fix that in OBS for a quick sec. Hey, Christmas. I completely skipped all of the holiday events last year, not realizing that they unlocked anything permanently. Talk to Scrubfoot. Christmas Goblin. Who are you? Me Scrubfoot, me Grubfoot's twin. Merry Christmas, you lot. Grant human access to caves beneath village. Humans slide to the glowy things. Human can have small boulder and spirit decorations. Thank you, I appreciate it. Also got a snowy wood house from the estate agents. Oh, that's kind of cool. And there's all of the music unlocks. So I think I just need the RuneScape birthday and Easter events now, and I'll be able to get the trimmed music cape. I want to see what the Christmas boulder looks like. Just carry it around. Howdy there, folks. It's January 14th. I've been taking a bit of a break since Leagues. As you'll see, the last recording cut off, I think, at the Grand Exchange, and here I'm at the Leagues tutor. So I did gain a small amount of magic XP that wasn't recorded as I teleported over to Lumbridge. But this is just to close out my Trailblazer recordings to show off the Rune Trophy that I did, in fact, earn by the end. So I think you can actually see that I did record it. I just didn't record it as part of the main playthrough. Just wanted to have a capstone for the Trailblazer playthrough. So maybe I'll include a link if I'm paying attention to this at all whenever this gets published in like 10 years. Maybe I'll include a link to the relevant Trailblazer video so you can see me warp from the Grand Exchange to the tutor to get this up. I'm logged in today. I'm still going to be taking a bit of a break. The Inferno is a bit too much of a task. It's too much of a time investment for me to really focus on it with the other real life stuff I have going on right now. But I do want to go ahead and do the anniversary event so as to get the trimmed music cape. So I'm going to figure out, I have no idea where you go to start that. So I'm going to look that up really quick. Speak to Wizard Greyzag in the Wizard's Temper. Okay, can do. Famous for summoning imps. Been trying to get something more interesting. More demons like the one in the cage. In the past, there were much bigger demons, such as Thameron in the Third Age. If I could get control of something like that, that'd show Mizgog who's smart. Instead of inventing time travel to the Third Age, my portal reached something called the Realm of Memories. Instead of a mighty demon, I got this weird kid. He's creeping me out, standing there looking at me with that face. Get the stuff he needs to reopen the portal to the Realm of Memories so he can go away. It's weird not playing this game every day. I played it
every single day, almost without exception, all the way up until Trailblazer launch. And I went super hard on Trailblazer. I was waking up at like 4 in the morning just to play it until I kind of had that epiphany moment where I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm burned out now. I've done all the content that I'm interested in. And then after burning out, I got the T-bow back from Clover and did all those tasks that you, from your perspective, you just watched me do, like getting the Anguish amulet and getting rigor and all that stuff. And then after having all of the things that I needed to start the Inferno, I did a little bit of Inferno practice on Trailblazer, and I just haven't played the game since then. So it's probably going to be good for me to take a bit of a break. I come back when I've got the time to focus on doing the Inferno. Given that it's like a 3-hour time investment, I mean, I guess you can like quit and come back the next day, but I tried doing that a bit on leagues, and it seems like taking a break for a day and coming back messes with your muscle memory for like prayers and stuff. So if I could like load into a lobby or something when I log back in and then tell it when I'm ready, that would make it a little bit easier on me. Happy 20th anniversary. That's crazy. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Damn, 20th anniversary cape is actually kind of awesome looking. Necklace, cat ears, birthday cake, prop sword, balloons, cow shoes, gnome child hat, gnome child mask. Oh, this place is cool. So it has all the old graphics for creatures. Lesser demon, black demon. Unlocked holiday item, you've unlocked an emote. I guess it didn't give me any songs. I thought there were birthday songs. I just need the Wilderness Slayer Cave. Oh yeah, I haven't been out to that yet since they added it. I just need Easter music now. Funny Bunnies. Haven't been to Soul Wars since they added it. Waiting game. Soul Wars lobby. Yeah, I guess I just need to wait for Easter now. Maybe that'll be my time to come back and play the game actively between January 2021 and Easter of this year. Okie dokie, well, let me go bank this stuff. And then from your perspective, a couple seconds will pass. From my perspective, it might be months. I'm going to continue to keep an eye on the patches to this game. I do want to pop back in and play it a little bit more if they patch in more cool stuff. Like I might come back to check out the combat achievements, that kind of a thing. Cool, see you around. Bye. Hey there, I haven't played RuneScape in, it says logged in 19 days, but that's just been logging in to try to claim sand. I think the last time I played was the anniversary event. Today is the OSRS birthday event, or at least I'm a little late for the birthday event. So I'm going to try to knock that out really quick, just to make sure I record it before it is removed. Talk to Duke Lumbridge on the 2nd floor of Lumbridge Castle. Okay. Talk about the 8th birthday event. This beast is useless. Have you tried turning off inverted controls? Wonderful. What's this? A challenger? Oh, you're approaching me? Did they just do the JoJo unicorn lead killer? Love the clothes. Nice, another unicorn horn. What are the odds? Can't do that. Come back here. That was great. Never nice when someone steals your kill. I can sympathize with that. Oh, hey, Alunid's here. Prythenus and Mofina from Arceus and Zeke from Alcarid. It's cool. Banana Cape is pretty silly looking. It's funny. What the cursed banana. That walk animation is incredible. Okay, I think that's the end of the quest. I'm going to go into my POH really quick and make sure all this stuff gets deposited. Yeah, I think it's down to just Easter stuff. Okay, that was fun. Clover's duplicate T-bow. Again, gave it back to Clover because Clover had a friend that was running the Inferno. The equipment rebalancing changes I was really worried about. They were talking about nerfing the toxic blowpipe, which is something that needs to happen. I think there's some smart ways to do it, but the way that they were suggesting to do it would have made it really difficult, like 25% harder for me as a trade restricted account to do the Inferno. But they canceled that, so I'm going to get in touch with Clover at some point and say, hey, when do you think you're going to get a T-bow back and then try to focus on attempts. I got a little bit of attempts in during the Trailblazer League, but not enough to say I'm really practiced on it. I certainly never made it to triple jads or anything like that. But anyway, I'll catch you later. I guess I'm considering it as, the most recent RuneScape video I published was recorded in November 2019, and today is March 1st, 2021. I don't really need to do the Inferno until I'm getting close to current with video publishing, so cross that bridge when we get to it. I'll catch you later. Bye. Hey there, I said I'd be back for Easter to get the trim music cape, and here I am. Tempoross just came out, so I would like to check that out too. I don't know what all I'm doing this morning, to be honest. I'm going to go, regardless, I'm going to go ahead and do the Easter event, and then I think I'm going to look through the music list to do any of the music that I've missed since I kind of took a break from the game. Coming up pretty soon, today's March 24th, April 7th, my real life stuff's going to calm down a bit, and I'm going to be able to play this game a bit more, so I might actually be able to start doing Inferno Attempts and that kind of a thing. I think we need to go to Draenor Village. Hey, Greg the Bunny. Happy Easter, I guess. You don't sound too happy about it. I'm just tired of Easter. Merry Easter. Hey! Unlocked a new emote too, Rabbit Hop. Alright, let me deposit all this crap in my house. I'm kind of bummed that I did Theater of Blood a bunch of times in the Trailblazer League, and I feel like I've done it. I feel like it's part of the playthrough, but those are Trailblazer videos, not main playthrough videos. So let me review music that I still don't have here. Dangerous Game was the new Wilderness Slayer cave that I never went to. Soul Wars is Soul Wars. Tempor of the Storm is Tempoross, which just came out. The waiting game is the Soul Wars lobby. So I guess I'm gonna go naked and try to do the Wilderness Slayer cave. Is it where the whatchamacallits were, maybe? I forgot where I was storing everything in my bank. It's been so long since I played. I never went there and messed with them. They're like wraiths or something like that. Revenant caves, that's the word I was thinking. I don't think it's the Revenant caves they're talking about. It's not the Edgeville dungeon. Oh, it's outside Corp Beast. Well, that's easy. I think they added this at the same time as the Revenant cave rework. So, and now I'll finally be able to get a trimmed magic cape. It's pretty exciting. Dangerous Game. Now I still need Soul Wars, which I think I get to from Ferox Enclave. They added Soul Wars and I didn't log in to check it out because I saw it was like PvP oriented. I might not actually do the game here. I might just go into the lobby. Dungeon, Last Man Standing, Castle Wars, Clan Wars. Thought it was here. Maybe I'm wrong. Is it just the dungeon directly in front of me? Oh, maybe it is. Soul Wars portal. Oh, I think I just got both tracks by walking in here. Yeah, so I'll probably check out Soul Wars at some point. I also haven't really spent any time in Castle Wars. Just needed the music. All right. Tempor of the Storm, I want to say is an Al-Kharid. And I was just reading the blog post about this mechanic or this content this morning. So let me pull that up really quick because it recommends what you want to bring to it. I think you want the Angler set and a Dragon Harpoon. Bring the music cape with me because why not? I think my Angler set is actually in my POH to double check. It's probably way more than it is necessary. Alright, let's go to... Definitely don't need any more fishing XP. The only reason level fishing at this point is for its own sake. I think the way this content works, it's better XP per hour, but worse fish. So it's too bad it didn't come out during my playthrough, because I definitely would have gone for the XP per hour option. But dark crabs were fun. I think well, in retrospect, I probably got better XP per hour from dark crabs than I would have gotten from this. It says Al-Kharid, Sea Spirit Docks. Oh, they're down here. I don't think I have an easy, fast way to get there. Infinite Narda teleport, maybe? Use that Narda teleport so much during the Trailblazer League. Part of the reason I'm taking a break, really the reason I'm taking a break is I have all this work I have to do for this family project, but The much bigger reason, jokingly, is needing to forget what the Crystal of Memories was like. That last recall relic just completely changed the way this game worked. It's beautiful. I probably end up doing at least enough Tempoross kills to get on the leaderboard for it. Yeah, why is there a Shantae pass here? Influx of new business to these ruins. Shantae sent us here to make money. I'm glad I've got the Nardai amulet. It would have been annoying if I got here and couldn't go in. Alright, Spirit Anglers. Is there a world people are using for this? Ah, Tempoross. Although I worry that if I do the Tempoross world, it boot me because it's actually full. It's crazy. Holy shit. Okay, well. No idea how this works. People already have the pet. Damn. Prepare yourself, we'll be off soon. Okay. So I don't really know how this fight works. I think it's supposed to be like Winter Tot. Sail you out to face Tempoross. Lightning clouds. Follow people here. So we gotta fish the fishing spots. Should be able to equip the music cape now, right? Hey. Nice. Can I trim it? Hey. Nice. That's cool looking. Alright, so you get these like harpoon fish, then I think you optionally can cook them. Fire the fish from out of cannons. Okay, interesting. Lose some fish in a bucket to the waves, so maybe there's a way to dodge that in the future. Oh, energy, essence, storm intensity. Okay. Wave attack. Tether yourself to a mast or totem pole with a rope to avoid being swept away. So that's why everybody ran over to that thing before. Full ammo crate. Lightning attack. Night areas, burning pathways. You'll lose fish and tools to the flames. I think it's smart of them that they didn't make this do damage. They just, when you make mistakes, it costs you time, basically. Smart. Costs you time and XP per hour. Torrent attack. You lose a rope to the waves. Lame. Storm intensity goes up over time. The intensity reaches 100%. Party will be forced to retreat. It's to 0 before the storm gets too intense. It submerges, triggering phase 2. Regains energy from fish that got knocked off of you. Colossal Wave, which I can't tether because I have no rope. And I lost my hammer, because of course I did. Literally just going to get hit by everything, I think. Alright, Tempoross is vulnerable. I like how much they communicate with sound effects and full screen flashes compared to like Winter Tot. This is a pretty cool activity. I'm feeling less bad about not having done it much later. Oh, they got crabs here. Crab rave. Beautiful. Oh, we can harpoon the spirit pool over here. Interesting. It's clever. Literally like DPSing it in this phase. So I wonder if it's generally possible to kill it before having to deplete its energy a second time. Yeah, okay. I got it for next time. I love the cannons firing fish at this thing. It's really funny. I got buckets, ropes, and hammers over here, so you don't have to bring them in yourself. Hey, you've earned enough points for a reward permit. Good. Didn't even realize that that was happening, but makes sense. Don't know what hammers are used for. I guess I get ropes. Tethering yourself to the thing, right? Tether. It doesn't actually consume the item when you do that. Okay. Storm Cloud has little icons below it. Okay, I see. It looks like the storm intensity goes down. People are going to say, why cook? Looks like the cooking XP is pretty terrible. Maybe it's just better damage overall, though. Oh, there's a mast you can tether to up here. You don't have to run off the ship. Good to know. Tether. Cute. Okay. Straight to the spirit pool here. Yeah, this is a cool fight. It's like Winter Tot, but I don't understand why people were complaining about that. Like, give me a Winter Tot for every skill. Tempoross kill count is 1. You gain 3205 points. You have 3 reward points. Sea Shanty, of course. Ready to leave. Nice. Yeah, so at some point I'll come in here and get 50 KC so I can get ranked for this activity, but for now I definitely don't need fishing XP or any of this other stuff, so. That was neat though. Tempoross. Take a screenshot of the trimmed music cape, because I finally have that. I think I got the music cape, like, at the worst possible time, given that I had skipped every holiday event up to that point. I think I was as far away from another event as was humanly possible. Cool. Thank you. I'll see you later. It's March 24th. I'll probably be back to play more after my project wraps here in April. So maybe we'll do raiding, maybe we'll do Theater of Blood. Definitely going to get around to Inferno Attempts soon. Bye.
That's a wrap. Next week we'll be doing Tempoross. I'll be doing the Night at the Theater quest, checking out Shooting Stars and Beneath Ice Mountain, and using my Dragon Warhammer against the Corporeal Beast. Should be pretty packed with stuff. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next week. Bye.